Breaking, top Democrat announces sick Islamic plan for Trump fans. It's war. We live in a time where free speech is constantly under attack. Political correctness will be the death of us. Popular Democrat Howard Dean weaponized his First Amendment rights to attack Americans for using theirs. Howard Dean took his thoughts to Twitter. He is silencing Islamic critics, and using the law to close in on people he disagrees with. His tweet was instigated by Ann Coulter. Coulter is known for holding terrorists accountable in the most brash and honest ways. She uses her freedom of speech to spread awareness of this continuing terrorist epidemic. Dean is conflating critique of Islamist terror with hate speech. This is a highly dangerous comparison to make. Something wholly honest and true could be another person's definition of hateful words. Via Jihad Watch. The label of hate speech could be placed upon any fact, idea, or opinion that makes someone uncomfortable. Equating criticism with hate speech is absolutely insane. Patriots, is it wrong to speak out against radical Islam? No, we need to keep our fellow Americans safe. Our First Amendment right states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Via PolitiFact. Analyzing and interpreting radical Islamic terror is fair game. The First Amendment blatantly conveys that not a single religion is withheld from our right of speech. It has this basic right that keeps our country honest and fair. Freedom of speech allows Americans to perform their own checks and balances system. We have the right to decipher and explain potential threats. Howard Dean's attempt to take this right away is unpatriotic and anti-American. He is just like every other insane liberal out there. They are always trying to start a war over anything that offends them. If it's war he wants, he should know that it's a war he can win. We know our laws. Liberals like Howard Dean must be stopped. Their attempts to control us are pathetic. All he and his comrades concern themselves with is slandering patriotic conservatives, and retreating from their own hypocrisy. Patriots, we want to be silenced or defeated. Conservatives everywhere are ready to call out our enemies. We want to be dissuaded from speaking the truth. We will continue to voice our concerns over radical Islamic terrorists. Those anti-American thugs hate us, and we will not forget that. We will not change our opinions for Howard Dean. What do you think of Howard Dean's attempt to silence free speech? Share this article on Facebook because we want to hear your voice. 0:0 Breaking, as thousands march across America, Trump issues massive response. President Donald Trump issued an Earth Day statement Saturday that said his administration seeks what's best for the environment and for the American workers living in it. Trump's message came on the same day as the March for Science, in which activists opposed to Trump's environmental agenda said public policy must follow the dictates of researchers. Trump has earned the wrath of many Democrats and liberals by upending the environmental policy of former President Barack Obama. Trump has also vowed to reduce the regulatory burden federal agencies place on businesses. However, Trump said in his statement that science is essential to sound policy. Rigorous science is critical to my administration's efforts to achieve the twin goals of economic growth and environmental protection, he said. However, Trump also noted that for science to be valuable, it cannot be the tool of partisan agendas. My administration is committed to advancing scientific research that leads to a better understanding of our environment and of environmental risks. As we do so, we should remember that rigorous science depends not on ideology, but on a spirit of honest inquiry and robust debate, he said. President Donald Trump issued an Earth Day statement Saturday that said his administration seeks what's best for the environment and for the American workers living in it. Trump's message came on the same day as the March for Science, in which activists opposed to Trump's environmental agenda said public policy must follow the dictates of researchers. Trump has earned the wrath of many Democrats and liberals by upending the environmental policy of former President Barack Obama. Trump has also vowed to reduce the regulatory burden federal agencies place on businesses. However, Trump said in his statement that science is essential to sound policy. Rigorous science is critical to my administration's efforts to achieve the twin goals of economic growth and environmental protection, he said. However, Trump also noted that for science to be valuable, it cannot be the tool of partisan agendas. My administration is committed to advancing scientific research that leads to a better understanding of our environment and of environmental risks. As we do so, we should remember that rigorous science depends not on ideology, but on a spirit of honest inquiry and robust debate, he said. Just in, Trump and Melania show up at military hospital, what happens next is turning heads. President Donald Trump personally awarded a Purple Heart Saturday to an Army sergeant who lost part of his leg in Afghanistan. When I heard about this and I wanted to do it myself, Trump said during a brief ceremony at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, MD. Earlier in the day, Trump had tweeted that he was going to Walter Reed. After the ceremony, the President and First Lady Melania Trump visited with veterans at the military facility. The visit lasted about 90 minutes. Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos, who was wounded in Afghanistan on March 17, was accompanied by his wife, Tammy. Barrientos was injured when an Afghan soldier opened fire inside a base in Helmand Province. 3 soldiers were wounded in the attack. Trump gave Barrientos' wife a kiss and then pinned the medal on the sergeant's left shirt collar, later shaking hands with Barrientos. The Purple Heart is awarded to service members who are wounded or killed in action. Many on Twitter praised Trump for making the trip to honor Barrientos. Trump has pledged to support America's service members and veterans during his presidency. Our veterans have delivered for this nation and now we must deliver for them, Trump said in a February speech. During that address to a joint session of Congress, Trump also singled out Karen Owens, whose husband, Navy SEAL William Ryan Owens, had been killed in a January raid on Yemen that Trump had authorized. Ryan's legacy is etched into eternity, Trump said then. Breaking, analysts notice major activity in North Korea. North Korea might be moving closer to a nuclear weapons test as another major North Korean military holiday approaches, according to analysts and Korean officials. Given the North's recent provocative words and actions and its April 25 People's Army anniversary, there is concern that the North can attempt a provocation at any time, South Korea's acting president, Hwang Kyo-ahn, said Thursday. North Korea marked the anniversary of the birth of North Korean founder Kim Il-sung April 15 with a military parade and followed that a day later with a missile test that has been labeled a failure. Some analysts feared North Korea might use the date for a nuclear test, and based their concerns upon activity at the test site located in Pyongyang. On Friday, analysts Joseph S. Bermudez Jr. and Jack Lee wrote on the monitoring website 38 North that activity had resumed. They said it was unclear whether the latest activity reflected a tactical pause before a coming nuclear test, a prolonged stand down from testing, or normal operations at the site. Regardless, satellite imagery continues to indicate the Pyongyang nuclear test site appears able to conduct a sixth nuclear test at any time once the order is received from Pyongyang, they wrote. On Saturday, North Korea continued to fire hot words at the United States. If the U.S. provokes the DPRK even a bit, its army and people will start a great war of justice for national reunification without hesitation, said state-run media, using the acronym for the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The U.S. has now gone seriously mad. It is mulling frightening the DPRK and achieving something with nuclear strategic bombers, nuclear carriers, etc. It added. Also on Saturday, reports that a gasoline shortage was impacting drivers in North Korea gave rise to speculation that China, the main source of North Korea's imports, might be tightening supplies as a way to force North Korea to back off its belligerence. President Donald Trump has repeatedly warned North Korea against aggressive actions towards its neighbors. The aircraft carrier the USS Carl Vinson, which had reportedly been ordered to Korea on April 8, is now due to arrive in the Sea of Japan off Korea by the end of April, Vice President Mike Pence said Saturday while on the Australian leg of his Asian tour. For the past 11 years, North Korea has been conducting nuclear tests and missile tests with the announced goal of being able to develop an intercontinental ballistic missile that can carry a nuclear payload and hit targets as far away as the United States mainland. 103,000 entitled Muslims in Michigan just woke up to nasty surprise. We need more patriots to stand up against the Islamification of America. We need to stop the proponents of Sharia law in their tracks. Thankfully, one such patriot is doing just that. Representative Michelle Hoytinga has introduced a law preventing Michigan courts from considering foreign laws when rendering their decisions. The law does not target any region specifically, but will prevent Muslims from bringing Sharia law to Michigan. VIM Live. Michigan is at the center of the Sharia invasion of America. Thanks to the ridiculous policies of Barack Obama, the state has opened the floodgate to Muslim occupation. In particular, the city of Dearborn, Michigan has been flooded by Muslims, and is considered the Middle East of America. Representative Michelle Hoytinga introduced the law after police arrested a Muslim doctor in Detroit for committing female genital